Got a way to get a little cover with the pink 4 and the black 8. Looks like he's going to go with the safety, though. A really good touch.
Yeah, the way you put it, Jeremy, was that it wasn't the best PLP for David Alcaide. In fact, he finished last in the field of 16.
And it was a very good PLP for his opponent, finishing second to SVB, which we'll see later in the evening session. Nice hit, but is going to surrender an offensive shot. Very difficult out, though. You can see the pink 4 covered up by the 8, so possible combination there. Certainly a combination on the 6-7. No real way to run the cue ball and get short side off the red 3 to the pink 4, so. Yeah, Alvin Ocean, who has started off slow in that event and then made some huge moves to win it. Really had the same issues this year, started off slow, but then never really got going. I think Copigny was debating a safety there for a moment, but now going to take on the combo.
Having missed it, left a chance at the very same 4-8 combination for his Spanish opponent.
And you can see even on day 2, maybe the pocket's playing a bit more difficult.
Bit of a contrast to last year when he was so quick out of the blocks. His first match against Jason Shaw ended up winning at 9-1.
Extension called.
On from there to beat Shane Van Boning, James Aranis, and then that comfortable win in the end against Declan Catchy in the final.
I think I like cutting at this blue 2, trying to go into the green 6 with the cue ball. Looks like he may be playing a little inside spin. Wow, what a shot. So he's confident right now, because there's a lot of ways he could have played that, that being maybe one of the most difficult. So David has come with some shots here to start. And a savvy vet like David also, and you know, he'll reflect on losses or maybe a poor PLP and kind of figure out what was going on. And oh my. Just almost exactly what I was thinking or going to say, Michael, is, you know, I looked at maybe shooting some shots a little tentative and decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and swing the cue. We've already seen it in a few, and now on the softer side, the brown 7 has got the best of them.
How often do we see this where a player has work to do, got to figure it all out, and then got to execute the plan, and he's done the hard part and then goes and misses something like that? As we've seen so often, a whole match can turn on something like that. Just moments ago, it was looking inevitable that Alcaide was going to lead 3-0, and that's a cushion. 2-1, barely a lead at all in the winner breaks format.
Yeah, and a nice feeling for Copigny to get on the board going to the break.
He was absolutely handed that one in the end, wasn't he? Alcaide's very surprising miss on the 7, his last involvement in that rack.
He's looking at the combination and he's just asking himself, if he plays the 2 like the black 8 isn't there, plays the 2 down the rail, what's the percentages on making that black 8? Don't think, the more I look at it, I don't think the combination's that bad, especially if he feels like he can track the cue ball maybe 2 rails between the red 3 and the pink 4. Looks like a safety though. Yeah, it's not going to get it. That's going to. The safety side of things has really been quite off for Copigny here early.
So Alcaide's first return to the table since that dreadful miss on the 7 a couple of racks ago. saw Alcaide throwing his hand up there as he left the table. Knew that hadn't gone to plan.
Little light with the draw stroke there. Now cueing not too awkwardly, not really over the 7, but a little beside it. Problem is, what can he do? Oh, he is somewhat over it.
Extension called.
Not only has the purple 5 become 2 or 3 times more difficult than he planned, but also gaining position on the green 6 now has become a little dicey. That's just as good as it gets, Michael. I mean, to put a little English on that as well, to avoid the brown 7. Oh, what a shot. Always like the way Ko Ping-yi goes about things. Very unique in the manner to where he wants to really make the same delivery or process of delivery every time. That's why you'll see him get up off the ball quite a bit for a pro. Because if he gets out of his sequence when he's down on the ball, he doesn't like that. Going to need some contact here. He's going to get it, but the 2's going to near the pocket. So you got to believe the jump shot is coming, and David's going to be a big favorite with a 3-9 looming in the lower right. Never wanted the blue 2 to near that pocket there, Michael. So again, the safety's a bit off for Ko Ping-yi at the moment.
Well, that had to go right, didn't it? Because if it somehow had gone wrong, it's leaving a good chance for Ko Ping-yi to make it 4 racks on the spin.
Extension called.
As it is, the chance now presents itself to draw level. The exchange over the push-out in the end proved critical in that rack. A rack which is finished with Alcaide making a 3-9 combination to draw level as we see it once again.
Type of shot you don't want to end up really brutally thin on the purple 5, but again, you don't want to come across and get snookered behind the 9, so he's got to just play it a little bit careful. He's played beautiful speed here. Always difficult when you add that extra weight to the cue as well. Just wondering how the spin's going to react, the deflection on the cue ball. You can see he's getting stronger, huh, Michael? I mean, that's the feeling I'm getting.
He's one of those players who, he's playing well, can get into the sort of groove where his opponent is going to be sitting in his chair thinking, okay, hey, maybe this is the shot that's going to go wrong for him and let me back in. And then he just keeps on coming up with the answers, rack after rack, and it's starting to turn into that now.
Yeah, when you've played the game, and you kind of get the sense, when they get in that working mode a little bit, that's when it gets really scary. They're kind of out there by themselves and just going through their process. This guy, again, like so many, really rely on the process.
Yeah, It's not like watching a Joshua Filler or a Jason Shaw where it's obviously flashy and sparkling. Very, very efficient. And get the job done just as well. And that's certainly what's happening at the moment. It's the second break and run of the match for Copenhagen. He's now 3 away from victory. He leads David Alcaide 6-3.
I think that's the correct shot, really. Avoiding the top rail with the cue ball. Let the stroke out a bit more. Gonna get a roll here. I don't think so.
Just as we were talking about that missed 7 earlier on, by Alcaide is such a big turning point. We're seeing a potential watershed moment here. Well, having been handed this unexpectedly, I feel he's got to capitalise on it if there's to be any hope of turning this round.
Yeah, not too worried about these 3. What I'm thinking about is that break shot that's had 2 or 3 dry breaks already in this match.
Yeah, his last 2 have both been dry. And yeah, doesn't look like anything's going to go wrong here.
Fell a little straight. Does he want to cheat the pocket with a little stun? Does he want to draw back and play the 9 in the same pocket as the 8? Okay, he could cheat it. But yeah, huge miscue after some really nice opening shots here in rack 10.
And all of a sudden, David Alcaide is back to only 2 behind. Well, that gives a slightly better view from above. Still not sure it's conclusive.
He's going to love that. Did he get enough on the cue ball? I think he's a little shy. David telling us that with a bit of a head shake. Safety, bring the cue ball near the 6. Hey, fluke in.
Isn't it amazing we talk about turning points and players start to play better or worse after them, but so often when the momentum even starts to turn your way, you get little things like that happening for you. But needed to make it count by following up. And instead, he's given Copenhagen an opportunity here to reassert himself in this match.
Now, the mentality is not to look at a shot and try to make it easier, right? Trying to figure out a way, how can I make this easier on myself? You just got to kind of suck it up and bury these balls. Little flick on the red 3 and the purple 5, but he's going to get a cut shot.
And now they're all there for him.
And just absolutely one of the best in our game at that shot. The thin cut shot down the rail at what would be a somewhat lighter speed. Always a nervy shot. Can play the cue ball between the black 8 and 9 here, or the purple 5 in the side. Looks like he's going to go forward. Maybe stunning. Got to go a bit. Really shocked he just didn't stun one rail out, because he was always between the 8 and 9 already. Of course, he would have taken more angle, but man, that was surprising. Didn't expect that. Definitely a favorite here, though, 75% at least.
Oh, really good, and it wasn't guaranteed he'd be on the 6. It's turned out well from every point of view. Shouldn't have left himself in that position, but recovered the situation immediately. Nervy moments. It's just toppled over. One or two moments of anxiety during this run out, but it's a routine 9 to finish. Copigny's been breaking very well in this match, and he'll be breaking for the match.
You could see it was just awkward for both. All right, here he could lose the pink a little bit, so he may float this with a little left spin, trying to hold the pink there. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Overcut that. Maybe overcut it enough to get this cut shot. And one of the best with the natural cut shot, running the cue ball up and down.
Extension called.
He was going with the closed bridge there for a moment in his hand. That means he may spin this, actually, versus just leveling out with a high ball.
And I think it's safe to say it really is all over now. Isn't it amazing how just one shot very early on in a race to 9 can have such an impact? Talked a lot about David Alcaide's missed 7. Who knows what would have happened if he'd potted it? But it certainly shifted the momentum. And having been 2-0 down, Copigny has won 9 of the next 11 racks. The 7-year itch is well and truly over. For the first time since 2017, the defending champion clears the first hurdle in the World Masters. It's a run that's been ended by Copigny. He's defeated David Alcaide by 9 racks to 4, and he is through to the quarterfinals.
And Zielinski, I think, still the youngest ever to win a Euro Tour event. Oh, that's not a miss you'll see very often from a tall young man. But he's a player that plays very quickly, but also plays very, very witty as well. So sees the table. Doesn't take long to make a decision. Like so many that do things at a great age, or young, you know, do things great at a young age, a lot of times have to deal with some mental anguish, and that's something that Zielinski's had to fight through the last couple years, improving mentally.
We won't mind that, JJ, will you?
Now, and Carl's talking about the little flick on the brown 7, just moving that up into position, and the key is for that is not so much making the 7 that much easier, but really a lot less stress on the green 6, having to get into prime position to get back over for the 7. It's gotten a little flat here, bit of an angle. It's going to have to kind of stun this. It'll have a bit of speed to get above the 6.
So automatic position after potting the green 6. is guaranteed. One thing we don't really speak about a lot in comms is the players' cues, Jeremy. Now, I know both Co-Brothers have got the same cue sponsor, Zen Cues. I'm sure we'll get a close look at some point, but they're very expensive, their cues that they use, aren't they, JJ?
Yeah, I commented in the last match, some of the few that still play with the maple shaft, but yeah, a decent car they're holding in their hands right there, $25,000, $30,000, $35,000, something like that. I think you'd look at Morris Newhausen maybe, and of course Mario He trying to get on that Mosconi Cup team as well. Not quite the youngster of those two, but I think Zielinski's the favorite for Poland.
A golden break, the bumblebee disappears. If you're new to Nineball, it's a quick rack for Ko Ping Chung. Here's another look, watch the cue ball, comes off the side rail. He also made the one in the side pocket, and the Bumblebee 9 follows suit. It's 2-0. Two for one, but he didn't want the two ball to follow it in. He needed this blue two ball to stay on the table.
Yeah, he followed the cue ball, anticipating the two to kind of ricochet off the three down the table a little bit. Now he's got to swerve the ball to maybe get a safety behind the green 6. This is touchy.
Now this is the first real easiest chance for Zielinski. He's got a pot into the side pocket. Just roll the cue ball forward, the purple 5. How quick he plays the game of pool. Very natural, just sees the shot. Gets down and pulls the trigger. And it's good to see Zielinski get his first rack on the board. He trails 4-1 now.
Not much of what this match has given us so far, but I think mentally he's become a lot stronger. He's a roll to get started, though, I tell you.
Yeah, and I tell you what, JJ, I can't really fault him there. Sometimes when you're kicking at the ball, you just feel like, where do I kick safe? Obviously, you've got the shot clock to manage as well, so maybe because of the scoreline he just felt like give it a little bit of a whack and just try and make something change in this match.
Yeah, I agree with you, and you'll see that from Zielinski a little more. I think you see that from Fedor Boris quite often, to where he doesn't, unless the kick safety is something he really likes, he'll kind of you know, shake the bush a little bit, if you will.
Jason Shaw as well to add to that list. He doesn't mind doing that now and again. What looked like he got away with one, he didn't, because the Co-Brothers, they are dangerous with the short cue.
So you're saying I don't fish too far from the shore? Is that what you're trying to say, Carl? Okay, a little off angle here, maybe drawing the cue ball a little between the 8 and 9. So he may go forward.
Extension cool.
See, that's what he's looking at now. How much angle can I handle? So he may end up going forward here, trying to cheat this a bit. Just two rails kind of crossing the corner of the box where he breaks from. He's gotten away a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, he's got away quite a lot. Anywhere straight-ish is what he was trying to achieve.
Yeah, settle for a little distance with the 9 so playable. May bump the 9 here. He's just really playing it kind of like a video game at the moment.
Captain Chad wins the rack.
Yeah, cute delay ball nicely, I must say. He played like a little soft stun shot to come off. But I do feel this break rule offers a lot more.
Boy, that's a smart shot and a lot of maturity in that one there. A lot of players trailing 7-1 may have tried to draw that rail first to open up the 2 and get something going. He realized that, hey, I got to knock this in and play a nice safety, take my chances from there.
The cue ball, it's got it near the pink 4. That cuts off the right-hand side rail.
Does he have a 2-rail escape here? Kind of between the black 8. A little above the black 8, maybe 2 cushions. That's the best one I see. Is he going to go above the side here? He's really trying to bend this.
Foul strike. Ball in hand.
Playing good safeties wins racks.
Maybe. Looks like the bank lay's pretty nice, even though he's near the cushion with the cue ball. Positions there with the green 6 on the opposite side. So gotta believe he's attacking here, trying to get on the hill like Carl was talking about.
Well, when the big shot is there, often the big players show up. Still had to make the bank. I'm not saying it was one of the most difficult ones, but it was a bank that he knows if he gets it, he's going to find himself on the hill.
Chung wins the rack.
Zielinski had a chance. He hooked himself, gifted the rack.
And there's that one on the side, the 2 wide open. Near the cue ball as well. Don't really see anything tied up. So I think we've seen the last of Zielinski, or good chance we've seen the last of Zielinski at the table in this 2024 Whirlpool Masters.
Yeah, this is a layout, a table layout that you would pay big money for to win a match. This is just literally connect the dots. I just had a quick glance of maybe coming off 2 rails in between the brown 7 and the 8. It could go wrong. For mere mortals. Not for a player who's regarded as having one of the best cue ball controls on tour.
Yeah, really just kind of one shot here. He's got to kind of play the cue ball, maybe 2 rails back and forth. He may just cheat it. I'm out 1 cushion. I kind of like the 2 cushions myself. It seems like every time, or at least to me anyways, every time I see this young man, Chung, is just confidence is more and more in a sport that really relies on confidence. That's just not from match to match. Now, he got a little thinner here, wanted a little more out of the cue ball, so it's going to be kind of a drag shot, which both the Koch brothers excel at. You'll see he'll aim kind of low on the cue ball, at least if he plays the drag. Could just roll it. He'll aim low on the cue ball. The cue ball kind of sends away with low spin and then turns over into a roll about a foot before the round 7.
Still got a little steep on the 8 ball. It's not where he wanted the cue ball, but he knows this is pretty much match ball. So good with the cue ball when he's got to kill the ball. Times the cue ball to perfection. And there it is. Chung beats Wiktor Zielinski 9 racks to 2. What a match. There's his big brother. He said he was going to sit and watch. He did sit and watch.